I love it.
And since I have like a 45, 50-minute drive every day, both ways, I'm on like 9, I think now, and it's huge. Like I'm sharing it with my wife, and we're talking about it, and everything in there is just remarkable.
How far are we supposed to be? I had no idea.
26.
26. Oh.
Sure. Yep. That's what I'm saying.
What did you share with your wife?
Well, like
And
13.
what resonated with you? What resonated with her?
The big thing was the law of attraction. We've heard it before,
Yeah.
but the way that he kind of dives into it and breaks it down and gives examples of it, kind of was a whole new thing that stuck with me.
I love it. So wait a second. We can attract good things into our life?
Yeah.
Good and bad.
Good and bad.
Yeah.
We can choose to let life circumstances beat us up, or we can choose to move forward. You're going to say something and you have the look on your face. Go.
Well, I got to go back to 2010.
Ooh, the Wayback Machine's
The
coming out.
Wayback Machine upstairs there in the end.
You built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
It's one. And I remember we were talking about moving the needle,
Yep.
and time on task over time. I mean, ad infinitum, and I see what's happened during that time, and I see when people step into this, they've got to go through the same thing. Like we've already been there, and what I see over and over and over again is this, when I read this book, it's stuff that we've been trying to do for a long time. This book quantifies it quite elegantly.
Yes.
Simply.
Yes.
And you just gotta stay on it.
Yes.
And stay on it and stay on it. And earlier going to you, protecting your lead gen time, that's sacred. Because I've been talking to this person who wants to become a broker. And she says, well, I don't want to talk to people on the phone. And I almost told her, I said, you got a serious problem man becoming a real estate broker. Maybe you need to be a TC or some other function, functionary. But so anyway, my point being is this book explains habits that we need to learn within ourselves to have what you talk about materialize. And the law of attraction is huge. If we're effed up, we're going to attract effed up. Because I've experienced that. It's like the zombies. Oh, there's one. And they're all pointing at me. And so we've got to watch what we say. We've got to be cognizant of what we think. And, how we treat everything. It's just really, it's so true, it's scary.
In Power of Habit, and he mentions it again in this book about how long it takes to put together a habit. And they talk about it also in the one thing, so 60 to 90 days, blah, blah. But they talk about 90 to 95% of your day is all habit.
You don't even know what you're doing.
You don't even know what you're doing. So how do we take those habits and then purposely structure them for maximum performance? Well, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is a really good example of that. I touched 166 FSBOs yesterday. I opened up Craigslist, 166 FSBO ads in Snohomish County, and I touched all of them. And it literally took me like an hour and a half. I just didn't move from my chair. And I only had like 6 conversations, but I literally emailed, text messaged, and called every single one of them. It didn't even take that long. I just started right at the top. Why did I choose to do that? I have no idea. I'm just going to put that out there. Actually, I do know. I feel a fire because I'm hunting for a deal for RESG Homes. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to touch every single one of these FSBOs, and I'm going to tell them what I'm doing. And I sent them all the exact same email. And while I was leaving voicemails, I was opening the Craigslist ad and hitting the little Gmail button and copying and pasting the email. And just sending it out over and over and over. It didn't take that long to touch that many people. Okay? But it was very purposeful about how I was doing it. I was like, I'm just going to sit in my corner, plug my little headphones in, and just bang this out. Did any of it immediately turn into any business? No. But I got like 3 people who, because I said in the body of the email, What is the lowest price you're willing to go? That was one of the questions. When do you plan on listing with a professional agent? Are you willing to carry the contract? You know, just some real specific, right to the point questions.
Each email said that same thing.
It said the exact same thing. I even talked to 2 people who were selling manufactured homes to ask them if they were selling the land the manufactured home used to be on. And both of them were on leased spaces, unfortunately. But I was hoping they were bringing in another one, or they were moving to another part of the state, and they were just going to have this beautiful piece of vacant land with the utilities already hooked up. 3 of the people specifically replied back and said, I'm not willing to reduce my pricing. My response was, let me know when you're ready, I will give you an offer. I don't know if that's going to work, but I've done that in the past, and then 6 months down the road, I just get a random call or an email, and they go, can I get that offer now? Because it gets hard to be in that for sale by owner. Habits, autopilot, they are serving us, positive or negative, all day, every day. How do you spell pilot? P-I.
P-I-L-E.
It was a Polish. It was a foreign pilot. It was like my mom. It was a pilot.
Really interesting to me is you've made all those connections. Guys, I think that the biggest deals, I call them BOBs, bricks of business for the future, BOBs. And I'm really working on, with anybody that I'm coaching, I'm excited about what you're doing right now, but most real estate agents are breathing so heavy for 36, 90 days. I want to know that you're talking to somebody, and we did it just the other day, somebody came in, we made some expired calls, and they're not ready to move till next year. And so they're gonna downsize from Marysville, all 5 of their kids are out of the house, they're gonna buy a place in Everett. Now, somebody is gonna have that piece of business next year, so I want Kelly, I made the phone call for Kelly, he's got a BOB for next June. It's a seller and a buyer. And so he can put that in his calendar. He knows that's, on the sell side, we looked it up, and the buy side, what they want to get, they want to downsize. There's $750,000 worth of business right there. And that's a BOB for next June for somebody, whoever takes, and I said, so what are we going to do? We're going to follow up with them in 6 months just to say hi. We're going to send them a postcard, because that's a brick of business. So if you start looking at your real estate business like a real business, instead of just being somebody's bitch, running around, I want to see this house, I want to do whatever, but you're actually building a business. So I know that I have 3 BOBs going in next June, maybe I'll get 1 or 2 of those, but it's a brick of business. So that's what I really want people to focus on is, this is like the future. They're going to sell or buy where the economy goes good or bad because they want to downsize. So what are we doing to follow up to make sure that we're listing people's homes in 2 or 3 years? We're not waiting for the call. We're connecting with them.
Yeah.
So.
And you're finding them motivated. They have a specific reason by which they intend to move.
Correct.
That speaks to how many agents will stay in contact with them, because
Correct.
we know that the majority of agents stop after the first
That's
call.
correct. That's
Then they
exactly
just
it.
fall off,
Yep.
fall off, and here, 8 months down the road,
Yeah.
9 months down the road, you're still there.
6 years, guys. I'm listing homes 6 years after I initially contacted them. I call them every 6 months, and then pretty soon, they're like, we're not even talking about the house. We're talking about their vacation. And I say, hey, I'll be checking in with, yeah, we know, Todd, because I end my conversation. I'm the agent that always follows up. Oh, yeah, I know that. And I reference back to, hey, we spoke 6 months. Oh, that's right. So just put that in. And I never say I'm a Keller Williams agent. I say, hi, I'm Todd, I'm the real estate agent. Why? Because sometimes Keller Williams agents are pissing people off. And so I don't lead with, hi, I'm Todd, the real estate agent. I don't lead with, hi, I'm Todd with Keller Williams. I'm Todd, the real estate agent, because you know what? That's not allowed us to get in the door on a couple, because there's other agents, even within Keller Williams, that don't make good decisions and they treat their people improperly. And so we want to make sure we're getting our foot in the door, and then we can show them who we are and what we're all about.
I always say I'm working with Anton Stettler, maybe I should stop doing it.
Whatever works.
Hey Todd,
Whatever.
you think we should say, I'm your real estate agent? And kind of like,
There we go.
I'm your real estate agent. Kinda
It's like affirming it.
Yeah,
to
that's
them.
exactly
Yeah.
Your favorite real
What,
estate?
what resonates?
I said it last week. I was a little ahead, but I want to say it again because I think it's important. Is practice persistence.
Ooh, I love that one.
So there was an agreement that was met between my wife and Jennifer and myself that I would set 7 appointments a week for 2 weeks. And on Friday, I was at 3 for the week. And I don't know, what time was it, I think? 7?
Probably about 5:40.
And I had no appointment set for Friday. So I was like, well, I gotta get this done. And I made the decision, I'll just set 4 right now, and then I don't have to work on the weekend. And then in 20 minutes, I set 4 appointments. Including just like random, like Stefan's like, call this person. I'm like, okay. And so it's not only just like, I mean, it was Friday and it was late and I was still doing it.
And you wanted to quit at like 3. I could see it.
Yeah,
I could see it.
But I was practicing persistence. It's
Yes.
okay to want it and then still do it.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
That's why I'm saying you overcame
To
that.
feel that is normal. It's the getting through it that's the exceptional part. So
You are exceptional, Anthony.
then the other thing, and I think part of how that, like, other part of practice persistence is like when you call somebody and they're like, no, I don't want to make an appointment, and they say blah 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 whatever. I have heard that enough times, and I kind of know what somebody's gonna say, that I just keep going anyway, and I'll close for the appointment 5 or 10 times until they either hang up on me or just I know that they're just done, and that I'm never gonna have a successful conversation with them again.
I saw a video that posted on slide of you and Anton that you said on the board, buy, sell, die, or restraining order, and I thought that was really good.
All 4 are acceptable. Yeah.
Yeah, rejection's a myth, right?
Pretty much.
I think the 2 things that are kind of sticking with me a little bit are kind of a conglomeration of what Anthony's saying with the practice persistence, but the habits as well. We have to realize too that bad habits are created equally as easily as good habits are. So sometimes you have to overcome the bad habits before good habits are created. And growth doesn't come until after pain is felt. So you gotta, I think it's up on Jennifer's wall right there. It says 29 and 3. So you've had 29 years of bad habits, and you've only focused, 3 years, 3 weeks, 3 months, whatever it may be. You gotta remember, you gotta practice that persistence, and habit isn't a habit until it is.
Until it's natural.
Until it is. It just isn't until it is. And so we're working on that in our house. It's kind of been a point of emphasis that I've just been putting little things in my wife and I's ear. So.
I just like the persistence and the positive thoughts. Like it says, you can do the negative or the positive. And as an example this morning, joking, but Stefan says, why do we just have brown? Why don't we get rid of it? Well, it's not brown, it's root beer. So you gotta look at find the positive and make lemonade out of lemons. So it is a lot of.
That's Leroy doing
I know
that.
that's Leroyisms, but it's slightly on the positive side too.